Hello and welcome to Maths Games. Today we're going to be looking at money. So I'll just tip the camera down back onto the table again and we can start setting up our game. So we're going to think about all the different kinds of coins that there are. And we're going to spend a bit of time setting up some little cards that we'll use to play our game. But this is part of our learning actually, because we're going to really think about how much different coins are worth. So let's start with £1. Let me ask you, my youngest son, do you know how many pennies there are in £1?
100.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write £1 at the top here, and then I'm going to try and draw dots to show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, how many pennies there would be. So I've done 10. If I do another 10, how many have I done?
20.
And how many rows of 10 will I need to show a pound?
10.
I want you to have a go at drawing the right number of dots for a 50p. And I want you to have a go at drawing the right number of dots for this coin. Do you know what this coin is? Let me show you which coin I'm showing him. This is the coin. Now, it's a good idea not to rely on trying to find the number, but to think, this is a small silver coin with straight edges. How much is it worth?
20p.
It's worth 20p. So how many dots are you going to draw?
20. Okay, done.
Okay, so you've done 20p. Can you have a go now at doing a different coin? Choose one.
Okay. Choose that one.
Which coin did you choose? What was it?
10p.
So what are you going to draw?
10. Done.
Lovely. How many dots would I need to do the £2 properly?
200.
So let's think of a coin we haven't done so far. We've done £1, £2, 50p. We haven't done 5. So that
I'll
should...
do 2.
That sounds good.
Done.
Lovely. And then there's one missing. You want to do it?
I'll do 1.
Well, we've already got a 1 over there. You could...
We don't.
Right. So there we have our cards that are showing the different amounts. Now, what we're going to do for our game, we're going to turn the cards over so that we're on the blank side. You'll notice these cards are really just bits of paper that we've chopped up. We didn't have any cards to do, so we just found bits of paper. And that exercise of doing the dots might feel like it's taking a long time, but I think it's a really good way for the children to start to appreciate the different values of the coins. I'm going to shuffle them up and then I'm going to deal them out. We're all going to have, let's do it like this between you two. You're going to have 3 coins each. Now, once you've turned your cards over, can you get that amount of coins from the... It's really good to use real money and get used to it. And see what your total might be. Now, a good thing to do when you've got
What do I
coins...
have to do with that one?
Well, what do you think it says?
Well, it's £2.
Well, then you get a £2 coin.
Okay. £1.55.
So here we have now... If you match it,
£2.21 or £2.22.
Lovely. A good starting point, you'll see I've done this with my oldest son's coins here, is to put them in order of value. The most valuable coin goes first, and if you're not sure what it is, the dots are really going to help with that. And then the less valuable coins go next. So can you put your coins over here in order, so that the first most valuable coin goes first, and so on, and let's match the cards up as well so that they're in the right places, and that can really help you to work out how much money you've got. So how much money have you got this time?
£2.21. £2.22.
So who has more? So my youngest son has won the first round. Right, I'm going to show you how you might use jottings if your child's trying to work out how much money is there and they need a little bit of extra help. So the first bit is about getting your coins in order from the most valuable to the least valuable. And this can be tricky because this coin is bigger than that one, But this coin is actually bigger than this one. So you really have to think, and that's why going back to these little pictures we drew can sometimes be really helpful, because the pictures clearly show that that would be 200 dots and this would be 50 dots, and then you can really start to see which one is more valuable. Now the next thing to do is, normally when we're thinking of numbers, we have tens and ones and maybe hundreds, but things are different with money. We have to have a decimal point, we have a space for our tens, and I might write 10p there. We have a space for our ones, and I might write 1p there. But we might have a space for our pounds too. Pounds, we know, are worth more than pennies, because we've drawn our little picture to show that a pound is worth 100 dots. So it really helps us to think that's worth a lot more. So we have a special way of drawing these things. Your children will be used to drawing ones as dots. Now in my little example here, I've just got 1p, so that's just one dot. They should be used to thinking about the tens as lines. Now this is where it gets a bit confusing for some children, because for some children it's very hard to think about, well, this looks like 2 coins. So it makes you think, oh, well, if it's 2 coins, it must be 2. And even if they make the jump to think it's tens, they're not quite there yet. Which is why, going back to our little pictures, we can see, oh, actually, this coin is worth 50 dots, and this coin is worth 10 dots. And then you can think about what 50 add 10 might be. Now, if this is drawn really nicely in rows of 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, it can tap into their counting in tens. And then we draw our tens like this: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Pounds, we know, are bigger. And so what we've done in class, and what might help your children, is this is £1. So it is a kind of one, but it's worth more than a little penny. So what we've been drawing is little squares to think, and it reminds us as well of the 100 square, which links into the fact that a pound is worth 100. So £1 would be one of those squares. £2 would be 2 of those squares. Now I've got £1 there, but I've also got £2, so I really need to think about that being £2 here. If you get as far as doing £10 or £20, or multiples of 10, instead of drawing lines like this, we might draw really big rectangles. So it links to our idea of tens, but it's much bigger to say these are pounds. Now I'm going to cross those out, because today we didn't have any £10. This is what we had in front of us. We had a £1 coin and a £2 coin, shown here with our jottings. We had a 50p, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and another 10p, and then one on its own. And once you've got that, you can start to practice writing your pound sign. You can practice thinking, well, we need a dot there to separate our pounds and our pence. This might all take quite a lot of practice and talking through. And we've got £3 there. We've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61. 6 tens and one more. So the total for this example that I was drawing here is £3.61. That might seem quite a long way round of doing it, but these little pictures that you're drawing and the dots on the cards, they're all ways to help your child really understand that this coin might be one thing, but it's worth 100p. And that's a hard lesson to learn. It takes quite a lot of practice, and this would be a good time to do that practice.